Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain one more theorem. Of course, last theorem of this unit. One theorem and problem is left. Today I will complete it so that tomorrow we can start a new chapter. Second unit we can start tomorrow. Okay? Yes, come on. Write the theorem statement. Theorem. Let H be a subspace of a finite H be a subspace of a finite dimensional vector space. Finite dimensional vector space V. Any linear combination, any linear independent set, any linear independent set in H can be expanded if necessary to the basis for H. Necessary to the basis for H. Also H is a finite dimensional. H is a finite dimensional and dimension of H less than equal to dimension of V. Dimension of H less than equal to dimension of V. So once see the statement once again. Let H be a subspace of a finite dimensional vector space V. H is a subspace of a finite dimensional vector space V. Subspace of a finite dimensional vector space V. So this is finite dimensional. V is finite dimensional. Any linear independent set in H here. For example, any linear independent set if it is there. Any linear independent set in H can be expanded. If you have one vector, we can expand H. We can expand H, we can expand it. Expand it if necessary to the basis for H. If we can add some vectors, we can add it for H to make H has a basis. Also, H is a finite dimensional. Already is given. H is also finite dimensional. And now we have to prove it. Dimension of H less than equal to dimension V. Come on, write this statement. So very simple. He given H is a subspace of a finite dimensional V. H is a subspace of finite dimensional V. If any independent set in H can be expanded. If you want, we can expand it to form a basis for H. And we have to prove dimension of H less than equal to dimension of V. Yes, come on. Copy the statement. Yes. Now we will continue. Come on, write. So statement is over now. So we have to prove simply dimension of H less than equal to dimension of V. For this, we are going to prove two cases. One case is I am considering H is equal to 0 vector. H is equal to 0 vector, And one more case 2 I am discussing, H is non-zero vector. One is I am considering H is 0 vector, and one more I am considering H as non-zero vector. In these two cases I am going to prove dimension of H less than equal to dimension of V. Dimension of H less than equal to dimension of V. Yes, statement is over now. Come on, write proof. Case 1. Let us consider case 1. Let us consider H equal to 0 vector. Let us consider H is equal to 0 vector. Then dimension of H. How much dimension of H? For 0 vector is 0. So dimension of H is equal to 0. Then dimension of H is equal to 0. Clearly, because already it is a finite dimensional, I can say clearly dimension of H less than equal to dimension of V. Dimension of H less than equal to dimension of V. Case 2. Let us consider H not equal to 0 vector. Nothing but H is a non-zero vector. Let us consider H is a non-zero vector. So suppose let us suppose that S is equal to, H is non-zero vector, no, it contains independent sets will exist. Suppose that S is equal to V1, V2, so on, Vk is S is equal to V1, V2, so on, Vk is linearly independent set, in H. Linearly independent set in H. Let us suppose that S is equal to V1, V2, so on, Vk is linearly independent set in H. For example, if all vectors are linearly independent, then S forms a basis. Come right. If V1, V2, so on, Vk are linearly independent, then S forms a basis for H. S forms a basis for H. Correct? If V1, V2, so on, Vk are linearly independent, then S forms a basis. Otherwise, if it is not a basis, nothing but it is not a span. Otherwise, S is not a span. If it is linearly independent, I can say S forms a basis, nothing but linearly independent span. If it does not forms, so obviously, otherwise S is not a span. Let us consider one more vector. Let us consider a vector Vk plus 1 in S. Let us consider a vector Vk plus 1 in S. If Vk plus 1 forms a linear combination, if Vk plus 1 forms a linear combination of the preceding vectors, if Vk plus 1 forms a linear combination of the preceding vectors, then S dash is equal to V1, V2 so on, Vk plus 1 forms a basis. If Vk plus 1 forms a linear combination of preceding vectors, then S dash forms a basis. Otherwise S dash is not a span. Same process. S not a is not a span. Again I will consider one more vector. Let us consider a vector Vk plus 1. Let us consider a vector Vk plus 1 in S dash. Now our new set is S dash. I am considering one more vector Vk plus 1. Let us consider a vector Vk plus 1 in S dash. That is S dash is equal to V1, V2 so on, Vk plus 1 comma Vk plus 2. Vk plus 1, Vk plus 2. If Vk plus 2 is linear combination of preceding vectors, if Vk plus 2 is a linear combination of preceding vectors, then S dash forms a basis. We can add one by one vector like that for S. We can add until it forms a basis. We will continue the process. If it forms a basis, okay. If it does not form a basis, I will continue it until some set forms a basis for H. Come on, copy up to here. Continuing this process, we can get a set which forms a basis for H. Come on. Once again, first copy it. First, we consider a 0 set, dimension of V is equal to 0 and less than equal dimension of V. First bit is over. Second set, I am considering H non-zero set. K elements are there. If all are linearly independent, it forms a basis. If does not forms a basis, I will add one more vector. In the question already is given. I will add one more vector Vk plus 1. If all these vectors are linearly independent, then it forms a basis. If it does not forms a basis, I will add one more vector Vk plus 2. Then it forms a basis. If equal linear combination preceding vectors, S dash forms a basis. Otherwise, S dash does not form a basis. Otherwise, S dash does not form a basis. Come on, right? Otherwise, S dash does not form a basis. Yes, once copy it. Continuing this process, until a set forms a basis for H. But a basis for H cannot exceed V. A basis for H cannot exceed V, because in the spanning set theorem we have. Okay, come right. But a basis for H cannot exceed A basis for H cannot exceed a basis of V. A basis for H cannot exceed a basis of V. Therefore, dimension of H less than equal to dimension of V. Alright. Continuing this process until a set forms a basis for H. Any set S, S dash, S double dash, like that will continue, because we can add a vector. In the statement only we have, we can add a vector. By adding this vector, if it forms a basis, okay. If it does not forms a basis, we will continue this process until we get a set which forms a basis. But we can't exceed V. We can add the elements, but we can't add the elements more than V. If V is n dimensional, we can't add more than n. That is already here. But a basis for H cannot exceed a basis of V. Therefore, I can say dimension of H less than equal to dimension of V. That's all. This theorem is over. Very, very important theorem. Once see this theorem, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Just copy it. And who are not able to copy it, take the screenshot and copy it. That's all. And now I will explain one more theorem. Sorry, theorem is over. I will explain one more problem. I will do it. One more problem. Yes. Come on. Write the question. Find a basis and dimensions. Find a basis and dimensions of the subspace. Basis and dimensions of the subspace 3a plus b, 3a plus 6b minus c, 6a minus 2b minus 2c, minus 9a plus 5b plus 3c, minus 3a plus b plus c. 4 entries we have, such that A, B, C are in real numbers. A, B, C are in real numbers. Come on, copy this one. Find a basis and dimensions. Find a basis and dimensions. Yes, come on. Find a basis and dimensions. Basis and dimensions is nothing but we have to find, first we have to produce a basis. Basis is nothing but linearly independent and span. All two conditions, linearly independent and span. If the two conditions are satisfied, basis will exist. Whenever it is a basis, directly I can say dimension of the set. Come on. Given, write this set. Given, this is we have. I'll assume S. Given H is equal to, given H is equal to 3a plus 6b minus c, 6a minus 2b minus 2c. Third row, minus 9a plus 5b plus 3c, minus 3a plus b plus c. Come on, write this combination. First, I can take a. Come on, 3a, 6a minus 9a minus 3a over plus b 6b minus 2b 6b now just coefficient now 6b minus 2b 5b b 1 plus c times of minus 1 minus 2 3 1 that's all such that a comma b comma c belongs to real numbers. If you have any doubt you can cross check it. 3a plus 6b minus c second row 6a minus 2b minus 2c minus 9a plus 5b plus 3c minus 3a plus b plus c such that ABC belongs to real numbers. So I can say H spans one more I have to prove it. These three vectors are linearly independent. These three vectors are linearly independent. Come on, write. Let V1 equal to, write the first vector 3 6 minus 9 minus 3 V1. V2 equal to 6 minus 2 5 1 V3 equal to minus 1 minus 2 3 1. Here I can take 3 multiple I can take here times 3 1 ja 3 3 2 ja 6 3 3 into minus 3 minus 9 minus 1 1 2 3 yes. If I take minus 3 multiple times I am taking times minus 3 times I am taking, so simply I am getting minus 1 minus 2 3 1. So V1 is a multiplier of V3. V1 is a multiplier of V3. So I can neglect V1. Come right? Clearly V1 is multiplier of V3. V1 is a multiplier of V3. Therefore, V1 is linearly dependent vector. Linearly dependent vector. V is linearly dependent vectors. Come on, copy it. I consider three vectors V1, V2, V3. I consider three vectors V1, V2, V3. If I observe here, V1 is a multiplier of V3. So V1 is a linearly dependent vector. We can neglect it by the help of spanning set theorem. So this is very simple. I wrote the question. I wrote A times B times and C times I wrote. I got linear span, one condition over. I am trying to prove linearly independent set. Okay, let's copy it. By spanning set theorem, we can neglect V1 vector because it is dependent. So now S contains only two vectors, it is contained V2 and V3. Come right. Therefore, H is equal to V2, V3. Again we have to check whether these two vectors are linearly dependent or linearly independent. Come on, check it once. V2, V3. Minus 1 into times 6 times we are getting minus 6. Minus 1 into minus 6 times we are getting 6. but I am not getting here. So I can say V1 and V2 are linearly independent sets. Clearly V2, V3 are linearly V2, V3 are linearly independent sets. Linearly independent sets. So I got second point I got. Linearly independent and one more linear span I got. So I can add therefore H equal to V2, V3 forms a basis. V2, V3 forms a basis. V2, V3, these two vectors forms a basis. Linearly independent and span. Linearly independent and span. So I got basis, I got. He asked basis. So in order to get basis, I have to prove linearly independent span. And one more I have to say, dimension of H also I have to say. Dimension of H. First bit is I told basis, and second one I have to prove dimension. Dimension of H is equal to, how many vectors are there here? 2 vectors, so I have to write 2 vectors. That's all. Forms a basis and dimension of H is equal to 2. Scope it. Yes, now continue. This problem is over. I'll give one more problem as homework. Do it. Come right. If if 1 comma 1 minus t 2 minus 4t plus t square and 6 minus 18t plus 9t square minus t cube. Show that these polynomials forms a basis of P3, polynomial of degree 3. Polynomial of degree 3. Let's come and copy this question. If 1 comma 1 minus t 2 minus 4t plus t square and 6 minus 18t plus 19t square, 6 minus 18t plus 9t square minus t cube, show that these polynomials forms a basis of P3, polynomial of degree 3. We have to prove basis, we have to prove it. Basis means nothing, already you know. You have to prove linearly independent and span. Linearly independent and span. First, consider these 3 vectors V1, V2, V3, V4. In order to prove linearly independent, consider C1, V1 plus C2, V2 plus C3, V3 plus C4, V4 equal to 0, 1. 3 vectors are there, 4 vectors are there. So 4 polynomials we have. These polynomials you have to write in terms of vectors. These polynomials write in terms of vectors. Already know polynomial standard basis. What is the polynomial standard basis? If you consider polynomial as P of x is equal to a0 plus a1t plus a2t plus a3t square a3t cube. a0 plus a1t plus a2t square a3t cube. You can write one first polynomial. First polynomial as a0 constant, no t square t cube. Second polynomial, you have 1 minus t is there, constant is there, minus 1, t square and t cube are 0. And third polynomial, this one no, sorry, t t minus 4t plus t square, 2 minus 4 t square and t cube is not there. This is third vector. This is third vector. And fourth vector also you can write 6 minus 18, 9 minus 1. Like this we have 4 polynomials. We have v4, v3, v2 and v1. 4 polynomials we have. These 4 polynomials converted to 4 vectors we converted. 4 polynomials into 4 vectors with the help of standard basis. With the help of standard basis. First we wrote constant, quotient of t, quotient of t square, quotient of t cube. We got 4 vectors. We got 4 vectors, 4 scalars will exist. We have to write a linear matrix as C1 V1 plus C2 V2 plus C3 V3 plus C4 V4 is equal to 0 bar. Find C1, C2, C3, C4 values. If all the values are equal to 0, we call it linearly independent. Next we have to verify for linear span. If these two conditions are satisfied, then you can say it forms a basis. Yes. Do it as homework. Still if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the interactive class. That's all. Unit 1 is over. The next class I will start Unit 2. Okay? Thank you.